Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Akshardhare. I'm Devraj. I hope you guys are enjoying the life. I hope you guys are learning it and earning it. Today is 23rd November 2023. I hope the tips which were given in the previous videos were useful and also you guys following the same tips. So before going to start the today newspaper reading, I would request you guys to please subscribe the channel, like and comment. If you like the video, please share it with your friends. It may be useful for somebody to utilize the opportunities from the Akshadharya and team. So let's start reading the newspaper, The Hindu, which is very important for the competitive exams. Let's see what's in the front page of the newspaper. Killing of innocents, unacceptable. Modi. Israel Hamas agree on truce. Altam reinstated as CEO of OpenAI. Reasoning behind more AC coaches in trains. Railways cites poor revenue, higher salary. India, Australia to cross words in T20. Washington warned India against plot to kill Pannan in US report. Workers in Uttarakashi tunnel closer to freedom. Two army captains, two soldiers killed in Rajouri operation. India Australia to cross what's in T20s. Electrocution. Lokayukta initiates a suo action against Biscom. Cash census reported to be delayed. BC panel chiefs tenure to be extended. As demand increases, BMTC to add more buses to airport. Airport service operates on 7 routes with 132 buses scheduled each day, resulting in 912 trips. BMTC gets first set up non-AC electric buses from Tata Motors. N. Manjulu appointed MD in charge of K Ride. 6 persons injured in LPG cylinder explosion. Daily wage labor killed for killing senior citizen over road rage. Man arrested for stealing tender coconuts. Rain flooding affects traffic in many areas. Man booked for blackmail. Photographer gets 20 years imprisonment in POCSO case. Electrocution case. Ashok demands a George resignation. Breaking boundaries. Leopard sighted near Soladevanahallി. Raman Research Institute faculty to receive grant worth 8 million from Canada. Let's read this. Professor Urbasi Sinha from Quantum Information and Computing Laboratory at the Raman Research Institute has been appointed as the Canada Excellence Research Chair in photonic quantum science and technologies. Over a period of 8 years, Mr. Sinha will receive a grant worth 8 million, opening up possibilities for international interactions at various levels in academia, industry, and other relevant sectors. Developing lab to market innovative models, all important steps towards a future ecosystem based on quantum technologies. She is among 34 global scientists whose selection for the latest CERC was announced recently. It is for the first time that a scientist based on India has backed this top recognition awarded by the government of Canada. CERC is offered to leading scientists engaged in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Have always believed that science is global and that it is through international as well as national alliances and collaborations we can achieve more than what we would do working in silos. The CERC gives me an opportunity to put these words to action. Not only does it allow me to expand our activities to a different country and environment, it also provides a once in a lifetime opportunity to contribute towards quantum ecosystem development in India and Canada in parallel, said Mr. Sinha. Bangalore Kampala to make its debut on November 25 and 26. To tackle fake mock squads, the government makes digital academic documents for recruitment officials. Higher education institutions have been directed to store UG and PG mock sheets, certificates, and other documents in NAD Digilocker. Conference on climate resilience, sustainable development begins. Health Department sets a goal to make Karnataka anemia free by 2025. 994 drivers booked for carrying school children behind vehicle capacity. Disruption in power supply. Hospital sets Guinness record for most people sanitizing hands simultaneously. Caste census reported to be delayed. Final chief's tenure to be extended. Is Congress government divided over caste census report as Deputy CM is opposing it? Political leaders from the Vakaliga community, including Shivakumar, have written to the Chief Minister urging him to reject the socio-economic and education survey report. Some are opposing it without even looking at the report. Let the report come. We will discuss it in the cabinet. Kantharaj panel's original report goes missing. Government seeks new report. Appointments to boards after another round of talks decays. Conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar's high-end vehicles to be auctioned to recover IT dues. Emotive Resonance, an exhibition of abstract art. Girdhar Cosmis debuts with his collection Illindalo Haribandhu. Great Indian Golf Alliance to raise awareness about cancer. A festival to promote green literature. GLF is a response to the urgent need for literature that helps us comprehend our relationship with the planet and promote positive climate action. Some of the other sessions will look into green entrepreneurship, cinematic storytelling. Behind the screen, Saad Khan returns with the Constable Girpade. Writer director Saad Khan talks about the making of Constable Girpade, a dramatic comedy about a bumbling policeman, his follow up to humble politician Nagraj, turning into What's Real, a taste of Japan. KCR says Bangaru Telangana will make farmers self-reliant. Farmers will become independent with ongoing schemes such as Raita Bandhu, says Telangana Chief Minister. He addresses election rallies at Tandur, Kwandagal, Mahabub Nagar, and Parigi. Congress is not scared by ED action against national error. Naidu's bail pleas in liquor and mining cases adjourned. BJP will not allow Jameel Ahmad Khan to attend Belagavi session. Karnataka High Court refuses to quash cheating a case against district judge post aspirant. Malayalam author P. Valsala, who sketched tribal life, passes away at 85. Unknown person booked for poisoning pet cats. HC seeks opinion of women and a child department on welfare of girl to be returned by adoptive parents. Listen to the people, not the numbers. Let's read this editorial page. The Indian economy has an incomes problem, not a growth problem. Incomes are not growing sufficiently or sustainably for a very large number of people, even though overall GDP growth is good. There is increasing pressure for reservation of jobs for all economically weaker sections, regardless of caste or religion. Economists on both sides for the government and those against it are debating whether the economy is creating enough jobs and are questioning the veracity of the government's debate. Those against the government also wanted to show that problem of growth with insufficient jobs has been created by the policies of the present government and not the previous one. They are like Sheikh Chili, who was looking for his lost keys under the lamp rather than in the darkness where he lost them. The data is what they can see, but it cannot explain the problem and will not point to the right solutions. The US economy. The US economy seems to be doing well according to its headline economic numbers. Growth is good and employment numbers have been improving. At polls show that a large majority of US citizens are dissatisfied with the state of their economy. This has become a major issue before the presidential elections scheduled for next November. The US president even walked with striking auto workers demanding a fair deal from their employers. US statistics of growth and employment, whose veracity no one doubts, are not measuring what really matters to common citizens. Workers want a fair deal and adequate and secure incomes to cope with inflation. The president agreed with the workers that CEOs of auto companies were paying themselves far too much while asking workers to tighten their belts to improve the competitiveness of US companies. Jobs that are not good. The overall problem of incomes in India, according to economists, is that insufficient numbers have moved out of agriculture into manufacturing. This has been the historical pattern for sustainable growth in all countries, including the US. 100 years ago and China more recently, India's policymakers had thought they had found a shortcut in the 1990s, directly from agriculture to services, with the boost in the growth of exportable information technology services. The shortcut has ended in a cul-de-sac. There is a very little room in high-end services to absorb the large numbers of young Indians in need of jobs. Moreover, these jobs require levels of education that people in rural areas do not have. Therefore, when they move out of agriculture, they need work that fits their present abilities and puts them onto a ladder that they can climb. They need jobs where they can learn higher skills and earn more. Labor intensive manufacturing, services, and construction provide them the first step. The millions of Indians who have moved out of agriculture in the last 3 decades moved into such jobs. The problem is that the jobs they have, irrespective of the sector, are not good jobs. They do not pay enough, they are temporary or on short contracts, and they do not provide social security or assistance to develop further skills. In fact, even in large modern manufacturing enterprises, workers are employed through contractors to provide employees with flexibility to reduce costs. Contract workers are paid much less than regular workers. They have insecure employment and are not satisfied, not assisted to develop higher skills. The world is at a turning point. New ideas of economics are required to create a more environmentally sustainably and socially harmonious future before it is too late. Statistics of growth and employment measure what we see or what we used to think should be measured. New concepts of work are required. Also, new designs of enterprises in which the work is done, as well as new evaluations of the social and economic relationship between participants in these enterprises. The drive for green, organic, and local to reduce carbon emissions and improve care of the environment will make small enterprises beautiful again. Economies of scope will determine the viability of enterprises rather than economies of scale. Denser local economic webs will develop rather than long global supply chains through which specialized products made on scale in different parts of the world are connecting producers with consumers in other distant parts. The economic value in caregiving. Attention will shift towards creating a genuine social enterprises rather than enterprises for creating economic efficiencies and surpluses, which corporate enterprises are designed for. Those who provide care and their work for caregiving must be valued more than economists value them today. In the present paradigm of economic growth, caregivers are traditionally women Women are plucked out of families, which are a natural social enterprise, to work in factories, offices, and retail. In enterprises designed to produce monetary economic value, when economists measure women's participation in the labor force, they value only what women do in formal enterprises for money. They seem to again assign no value to the informal work they do outside their homes to earn money, whether as domestic caregivers in others' homes or on family farms. Moreover, they are unable to see any economic value in the caregiving they provide without monetary compensation in their families and communities. The prevalent paradigm of economic theory is distorting social organizations, which families are to suit the requirements of corporations, which are formal economic organizations. Thus, the money measured economy GDP grows, while the care that humans can and should give each other reduces. Measurements of economic growth and employment must not be made any longer in 20th century concepts of economic growth. They must be reformed to reflect forms of work and enterprises we want more of in the future. For this paradigm shift, the process of policy making must begin with listening to those who have not been given much value in the present economic paradigm. To workers, small holding farmers, small entrepreneurs, and women, presently their views are overruled by those who have power in the present paradigm. Experts in economics, large financial institutions, and large business corporations. The lesson for policymakers is this: don't count on historical statistics to guide good policy for the future. Listen to the people and what matters to them. Reporting animal cruelty makes children safer. Let's read this page article. Child abuse is grave and rampant in India. In 2007, the Union Ministry of Women and Child Development published the largest empirical study about the incidence of child abuse in India. The study specifically examined the prevalence of physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and child neglect in India. It found that 2 out of every 3 children were physically abused, or half the children reported having faced one or more forms of sexual abuse, and every second child reported facing emotional abuse. Despite these troubling statistics, the factors contributing to child abuse remain unaddressed. Child abuse in India has been attributed to the structure and size of the family, lack of effective implementation of law, poverty, illiteracy, and even cultural factors. However, one crucial element that has been found missing from the discourse on child production in India is the link between victims of child abuse and animal cruelty, which we discuss here. Animal cruelty and child abuse. The link between animal cruelty and human violence first came to light in 1751 with William Hogarth's Fourth Stage of Cruelty. Since then, there have been a plethora of studies highlighting this undeniable link. In 1980, pilot study conducted in England found evidence that suggested that children are at risk of abuse or neglect in households that abuse their family pet. According to the study, out of the 23 families that had a history of animal abuse, 83% had been identified by human social service agencies as having children at risk of abuse or neglect. A different study of 53 families in which child abuse had occurred, carried out in New Jersey. In 1993, found that animal abuse and child abuse co-occurred in 88% of the cases. In a 2019 study on homes with interpersonal violence in the US, it was found that in 12.3% of the cases, threats and violence towards animals are used as a means to coerce children into compliance so that they do not report the burst. As per the study, since animals are threatened to result in compliance of the child, some of this violence is done without the knowledge of other caregivers, and children are reluctant to discuss the animal abuse for fear of what might happen to the animals or themselves. Easier to detect. Further, in many cases, animal abuse is easier to detect than child abuse and is also usually easier for victims of domestic violence, including children, to report. Early identifications of homes with animal abuse may save other human victims encountering abuse. This can also serve as circumstantial evidence in custody and child abuse hearings, as it is difficult for children to provide detailed accounts of their own abuse. There is a strong link between animal cruelty and child abuse, and there is an urgent need to investigate it further in the Indian context. Even though law enforcement agencies in other countries have devoted resources to studying the co-occurrence of animal cruelty with other forms of violent crimes, especially crimes against children. There is no study that empirically assesses this link in India and posing anti-cruelty laws. In fact, the National Crimes Record Bureau does not even collect data on offences registered and prosecuted under the Prevention of Cruelty to Animal Act 1960. As studies in the other countries have shown, the collection of and aggregation of this data can prove to be a significant tool for law enforcement agencies to understand how different crimes overlap and prevent the occurrence of these crimes. Poor enforcement of anti cruelty laws therefore not only harms animals but also human victims of violence. Reporting animal abuse and consistently enforcing anti cruelty laws can act as a deterrent for further acts of violence against not only animals but also humans. It is therefore imperative to register and prosecute cases involving animal cruelty. The link shows us that both human and animal victims of crime are prone to victimization by the same perpetrator. There is an opportunity for stakeholders in the child protection and animal protection movements to collaborate to meet their collective objective of reducing abuse. Reporting and prosecuting animal abuse is not just about saving animals, it's about protecting our children from violence and securing a brighter future for them. Understanding this important link can stop the cycle of violence at its source and help make our children safer. Let's go to the next unheeded advice. A time has come for the governor's role to be reconsidered. Glimmer of hope. The pause in war after the hostage release deal gives peace a chance. Same sex couples, a judge to the rescue. A dilemma over tribal land rights. Reasoning behind the rise in Indian Railways AC coaches. Poor revenue from ticket sales combined with higher salary and pension costs necessitates the move. At G20 meet, PMC is killing of innocents unacceptable. During virtual summit, Russian President Putin says what is happening to Ukraine is undoubtedly a tragedy, and that conflicts elsewhere, including in the Gaza Strip, are also shocking. India resumes e-visa services for Canadians as situation improves. Consulate attack NIA conducts searches in Punjab, Haryana. 5 lakh Sahara investors to stage protest against government in Delhi in December. Washington warned India against plot to kill Panama. Shazness of amendments made to PMLA in 2019 shocking, says Sibal. Gandhi family paying for its sins, says BJP and sieges by ED. For Dalits, BJP and Congress inert, BSP only a fringe party. Ajad is new. Whoever speaks truth in Congress is shunted out of politics, Modi. With KCR Revant battling it out, no ordinary context in Kamarit. BJP seeks easy action against Rahul for Panauti comment. Central Trade Unions calls for probe into tunnel collapse. They urge Centre to ratify ILO conventions on health and safety, express anguish over the failure of authorities to take responsibility for Shilkiara tunnel collapse in Uttarakhand district of Uttarakhand. Restore and Whole Pension Scheme BMS urges Finance Minister. Patanjali Ayurveda says its medicines clinically proven. Commission clarifies norms for paramedical graduates. SC begins hearing on pleas against parties suffering previous during elections. DGCA suspends officer who accepted aircraft as bribes. Seeking advice of Bhishma. South Korea suspends deal after North put military satellite into orbit. China and Uruguay upgrade relations as leader meet in Beijing. Netherlands citizens cast their ballots in a cliffhanger election. UK government unveils voter-friendly budget with election on origin. Israel and Hamas agreed to 4 days ceasefire in Gaza. Hamas to release 50 hostages, Israel to free some 150 Palestinians. Truce to be extended an extra day for every additional 10 hostages freed by Hamas. Netanyahu was to resume war after truce. Days after being removed, Altman back has opened AAC along with new boat. 6 Palestinians shot at an Israeli raid in West Bank. US strikes kill 8 pro-Iran fighters in Iraq, hangers Baghdad. Afghan border trade resumes after Pakistan suspends visa rule. DOS Plaques model-based lending warns banks NBFC of undue risk build-up. IDB Bank share sale said to be unlikely before 2024 polls. NBFC is likely to see asset growth of 14 to 70% next fiscal, says CRISIL. DGCA slaps 10 lakh penalty on Air India. Tata Tech in IPO fully has subscribed within minutes of opening bids. India seeks private money for coal-fired power plants despite Western opposition. RR trades particle for LSG's Avesh ahead of IPL 2024. Sarfaraj Khan and Manish Pandey released by Delhi Capitals. Gautam Gambhir to return to Kolkata Knight Riders as mentor. Inter Miami squashes rumors of Messi vs Ronaldo clash. Chance for youngsters to test their skills against a quality side. There is always light at the end of the tunnel, says Suyakumar. The disheartened India could not win Kapil. Lakshya and Srikanth sent packing in China Masters. Forget about Asian Cup. Let's try to do well in the WC qualifiers. Coach Sam Stimac. Top 3 Tanvi to meet Hani Hanahat for the crown. Aggressive Jharkhand Best Chandigarh. Jojo Hockey Academy trashes Naveen Hatsi. Karnataka will have its task cut out. Delhi will challenge. Anshul Bhatt, the bright star of Indian Bridge. WBF President Gyan Narigo Rona had only good things to say of the teenager, adding his gold medal and championship win have the potential to do to the game what Vishwanath Anand's early success did to chess. With a preseason looming, Inter Miami looks to focus on disturbing workload. Low oxygen at high altitudes increases lifespan in aging mice. Researchers have said that this is the first effort to demonstrate that oxygen restrictions can extend lifespan in an aging mammal. Previous reports on oxygen restrictions lengthening lifespan have come from mammalian cells grown in petri dishes, yeast, and in less complex lab animals. Water everywhere. Text and context is lost pages, guys. So, health camps in first week of Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra, 1232. The penalty slapped on Air India by DGCA. Delhi residents are reluctant to fit diesel generators with CNG. Decrease in US unemployment climbs this week, 2.09 lakh. The number of farm fires reported in Punjab on Wednesday. Fight fell in Haryana's employment reservation law. What does that reservation law entail? How was it challenged in court? And what was the justification of the state government? Has a similar law been implemented in Andhra Pradesh as well? Why did the High Court rule it as unconstitutional? What is the ruling against the UK's Rwanda deal? What is the Migration and Economic Development Partnership? Is Rwanda safe for asylum seekers? Ethics and epistemology of ancient Indian materialists. In the materialist scheme of things, no divine agency exists to safeguard society from terrors, either natural or of human provenance. Any social action, for better or for worse, operates on human will and intelligence. Know your English. The Constituent Assembly of India adopted the Constitution of India on November 26, 1949. It came into effect on January 26, 1950. A quiz related to the Constitution. This is the last page, guys. If you as you guys can read this last page about the natural. It's about the history. So I hope you guys enjoy the newspaper reading. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe the channel, like and comment. If you like the video, please share it with your friends. It may be useful for somebody to utilize the opportunities. And don't forget to at least read 2 hours a day to make you better in English communication. See you in the upcoming videos, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.